Gabe Jenkins back with you from the CCA College and Career Accelerator, accelerating your future. Hope you're having a great time with SolidWorks parts 1 through 12. We're working on parts 13 now, part 13. And so we've really gotten a lot of practice so far at making new shapes and making complex shapes from pretty simple steps, right? Pick a plane, sketch, extrude, pick a plane, sketch, cut, maybe revolve something, either an extrusion or a cut. Pretty straightforward steps, but we're starting to like kind of get to some more interesting, more complex shapes, which is cool, right? This shape, there's only one real thing that I want to show you in terms of the construction of it. I'm going to really quickly go through all the steps that I did for the preview, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about how to use this little button over here that looks like a red, blue, and yellow little sphere to change the appearance of the object in your model, right? So let's get started. I started off with a very simple extrude, just like this part right here, made that a simple extrusion, built this part, did a sketch, and then I extruded it, did this little extra little circle part and extruded that. What I really was trying to do was I was trying to figure out how to just make one of these, and because I know that it's bilaterally symmetrical, meaning like the left side looks like the right side or it's front looks like the back, like you can make a mirror copy of it. I was trying to figure out a way just to save myself some work. So I didn't have to do it again and again and again, and I could use the mirroring tool in order to do that. But in order to do it correctly, I realized I needed a new plane. Like I needed a new plane that was the center point right here, and I needed it to be parallel to this one, right? I wanted it to be parallel to the front plane, but just kind of run through the middle. And so what I did was I used reference geometry to make myself a new plane that was right here, right? So I now had a plane that I could make a copy of this whole shape and flip it over to the other side. And so that's what I did. I made a mirror copy, made it over there, and that was done. The next sets of things that I did was something we talked about in an earlier video where I said if you make one sketch of sufficient complexity and you want to just extrude different parts of it, different amounts, like make one part fatter than the other, deeper than the other, it's not hard to do. So I did this part right here. I made the sketch that looked like that, but I only extruded this portion of it at first, and then I extruded this next part as a second step. Last thing I did was to come in here and create that kind of central archway looking feature, and it was done. Okay, so that's the basic set of steps that I did to make it, you can follow my steps, or you can do your own. What I wanted to show you, kind of a fun little feature of SolidWorks is, we're making this out of ABS, which you can find under the plastics section. And but say you just wanted to change what it looks like over here. It's already changed it a little bit, but if you click on this, you can see. Let me get my face out of the way. If you click over here on that little icon here that says appearances, scenes, and decals, you can change how it looks, right? So, there's a lot of different ways you can make it look. You can make it look like a different kind of metal. So you want it to look like chrome or aluminum or brass, right? You can change what it looks like. The one I've chosen to make this one just look like, I went under here to paint it and powder coats. And I said, let's make it an aluminum powder coat. So here's what you do. Once you've selected the thing you want, you can click on it, right? And it tells you what to do. Drag and drop your appearances onto the model or feature. So if I take this and drag it over here and let go, it gives me this little pop-up menu. Don't move too quickly. It's asking me, do you want to apply this appearance just to that particular face, the one that's highlighted in orange, or do you want it to do it to the whole, this feature, this boss extrude feature, or do you want to do it to that whole body or the whole part, right? I said I wanted it to apply to the whole part, and so I did that. But say you, for, I don't know, some other reason, let's just say you wanted to pretend that like this interior feature right there was made out of a different material. So say you wanted to do dark powder coat. What if you dragged that over to here and you said, no, I don't want to do the whole body. I just want to do that extruded feature, right? So that's its own feature. And so if I just click on that, I can just make that one thing powder coated in the black. Okay, one last example and then we'll stop for the time because this is pretty straightforward. Fun to play with though. Let's say I want to make this top let's maybe just this one thing right here. Say that thing I wanted to be platinum, because platinum's cool. I want it to be polished platinum. All right. So if I got polished platinum right here, drag it over here, and I just want this feature, boom, that boss extrude, that feature, cool. And now it is that polished. You can see it's a little bit different. There are some weird ones in here. Let's see. I can't remember what they all are, but like, so you got a stone. What's under stone? Paving stones. You want it to look like, I don't know, red concrete. So you wanted red concrete. There. Anyway, it's fun to play with, so you can make it look the way you want it to look. Just a simple feature. It's not changing the ABS or the density or any of that stuff. It's just changing the appearance of it. So it's like just changing the way the outermost surface looks, but it's not actually changing any of the underlying physical characteristics of the part that you're modeling in SolidWorks. All right, everybody. Hope that works well for you. Let me know how it goes. If you do it the way I did it, you're going to end up with MMGS is the units, and we're using ABS, and ended up with a mass of 144.77 grams. All right, everybody. Hope that works for you. Have a great day.